In this category, something I think you should take into consideration is the Dom effect. Now, there's two routes you could go, I should say. Route number one will say just be happy with yourself. Go do your own thing. If you want to be single and live the bachelor life for the rest of your life, go ahead and do it. Find things to occupy your time and make you happy. That's fine. But if you're somebody that does want to partake in the dating game and you want to find a way to get results, which I think most of you are, well, there's something that I call the Dom effect. And it's very similar to the term alpha widowed, but I call it the Dom effect. You know, before the term alpha widow was created, that's what I would call it. And what that means is the man that makes the most dominant impression on a woman's life is going to be the standard that she sets, or it's going to be the guy that she always thinks about. He's always going to cross her mind. So to give you an example, if her ex-boyfriend spoke to her like, grab your shit, get ready, get in the car, we're going out to eat. You know, I'm taking you out to freaking Applebee's, wherever. And the way you speak to her is, hey, would you like to go out to eat on Saturday? Would you like to, maybe, hang out for a little bit? What kind of food do you like? Where do you want to go? Okay, well, what time should I pick you up? Do you want to meet me there, or do you want me to pick you up? Well, when she hears you talk like that and compares you to the ex, you're not going to meet that standard. And even if she does give you the time of day, at some point she's going to crave him or a man just like him. So she's going to leave you and she's going to go find him. And it might be brutal to some of you to rationalize that because you see that taking place in your own life, but understanding that and getting it through your head can really help you. It can go a long way. Scorned and somewhat repulsed by dating. And this is where you have the men sent their own way movement. Some men go their own way willingly, but a lot of them are sent their own way. They're sent walking down that road of loneliness. And this isn't a pity party. This isn't me trying to stir up drama with these guys. I'm just saying the world should at least take some time to recognize that this is going on, this is happening, and the percentages are going up like crazy. So we can spread positivity and motivation. You can't get positive until you either eliminate the negative or you talk about the negative in a way that it can in some way become positive through outlets of community and people getting together and talking about these things. Now, what is the leading cause of this occurring? Well, it's pretty obvious, and it's promiscuity. Now, men, and as I was saying, the way men love women, the same way that they love their children or even their pets, when you remove sex from the equation. Well, what I mean by this is they want to protect women. They want to care for women. They want to be there for women. They genuinely love women. And when they see a woman out there being promiscuous, what they see is risky behavior. STDs, mental and physical damage and harm that can be done to women out there. And also, when you break it down, risky behavior, whether it be promiscuity, drugs, or alcohol, it's really all the same thing. As a matter of fact, speaking of those three, promiscuity, drugs, and alcohol, typically if somebody conducts...
Subscribe to the channel.
Typically, if somebody takes part in one of those three, they're probably taking part in all three of them. Very seldom do you see somebody with a notch count of over 50 that didn't have drugs and alcohol involved in the process. Very seldom do you see somebody that's on drugs and alcohol that isn't actively seeking random sex with strangers. They just go hand in hand. So the same way that you would want to punish your child or protect your child from that sort of behavior, men want to protect women from that sort of behavior as well. But we can go back to the Bible, if you want to. And I know a lot of you people don't understanding that, and getting it through your head can really help you. It can go a long way. So there's only two things that a man needs to succeed in the dating game, excluding looks and money, because those two certainly will help, but they're sort of prerequisites. The two things that a man needs is a high emotional IQ and strong boundaries. Now, what do I mean by this? You got to have a willingness to show emotions, and you got to show a willingness to have emotional strength. You're not weak. You're not pathetic. You're not a crybaby. You're not a whiner. You don't break down easy. You could say you're stoic to some degree, but at the same time, you've got a soft hand as well. You know how to, when the time is right, be loving and caring. But when the time is not right, you know when to revoke that. Now, the second thing, the strong boundaries. Some people call this a willingness to walk away, which would fall under the same umbrella. Some people call it maintain and frame, which would fall under that umbrella. But essentially what this means is, if you're not getting compliance, and compliance should go both ways, don't get me wrong. A man and a woman should be in full compliance with one another. But if you're dating a woman and you're settling for attention, she gives you attention, meaning she talks to you, she spends time with you, maybe you have a little bit of sex, she gives you attention. But there's no compliance. When you tell her, hey, I need something done, or hey, I need to see you now, or I want you to do this, or we need to make a change, and she's non-compliant, well, that means she's overstepping your boundaries. And if you let her overstep your boundaries, she'll lose respect for you, lose attraction to you. She'll want to go back with that other guy that had strong boundaries. This is, a part of evolutionary psychology, which I don't want to get into too much, but, as I was saying, if a man loves a woman the same way he loves his children, that means he wants to protect her. He has to establish boundaries for his children and his wife. And I don't even mean that in a misogynistic way. It's a man protecting his relationship because he loves his woman. That's all. And you got to have those two things. I should say those four things. And as long as you have those, sure, not every relationship's going to work out, but at least your relationships will be on your condition. And that's what really matters in the long run. Things have to be done on your own conditions, on your own terms, and whether you're single or in a relationship. So keep that in mind. And, you're never truly alone. If you're religious, you've got God. If you're not, you've got nature. You got the world. And you're just one small speck of dust in the universe anyways, so I wouldn't take it too serious. But hey guys, I hope this video was somewhat informative.